you have those impactful moments that you don't really consider at the time that it happens, but then when you look back, you realize, what this individual or individuals did to help support you to get you where you are. And that's what it was with Philadelphia Education Fund. And I had chills on the plane this morning thinking about it. When they would come up to the college and sit with us to make sure we were doing okay. Hi, my name is Irvin Clark. I am a proud graduate of Germantown High School, class of 1994. Upon completing high school at Germantown High School and earning my diploma, I went on to Cheyney University of Pennsylvania, which is the first and oldest historically black college in the country. I graduated with both a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Cheyney University in 1998 and in 2001. I then went on from Cheyney University to Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland, where I completed my doctorate in higher education with a concentration in community college leadership. I also, at my time at Morgan, completed a fellowship at Morgan State, a research fellowship through the Gold Seeker Fellowship Program. I currently work now as president of Southern Crescent Technical College, which is a technical community college in Atlanta, Georgia. It's one of 22 technical colleges in the state of Georgia. I've been serving as president for 4 years. I've been working in higher education for the past 25 years. I am also a proud recipient of the Last Dollar Scholarship, which was through the Philadelphia Education Fund. That scholarship provided much needed funds to help my parents and myself be able to bridge the financial gap that we had to pay for tuition at Cheyney University when I was an undergraduate there from 1994 to 1998. Looking at college access and what it has done for my career now working in higher education, it has been extremely impactful. The time that I was a student at Cheyney University as an undergrad, I remember the College Access Program counselors coming up to campus to meet with us, to talk to us about how we were doing our academic journey, the challenges and the barriers that we were, being faced with and how we can conquer that, and also celebrating our successes. They also connected us with other students who had similar challenges and successes that we were able to interact with. The other part of it too that was really impactful for me was when I was a student at Germantown High School and I worked with the College Access Program counselors through the Philadelphia Education Fund to expose me to higher education, being able to take college visits, to be able to understand the FAFSA form, to be able to understand the terminology that they use in college, like a registrar or a bursar. I didn't know what those words were. And how does this connect to my current career now? Serving as a college president, I am responsible for 14,000 students at the institution where I serve. I am also responsible for making sure those students have access to higher education and they'll be able to have that opportunity to be able to earn a credential or degree so that they can go into the workforce and be successful. So that foundational principles that I was able to gain through the Philadelphia Education Fund at my time at Cheyney and also at Germantown High School really has set the path for me to where I'm at now. It also gave me the motivation to be able to continue my education, to earn my master's degree and my doctorate, and to stay in this field of education, which again, I'm in higher education now. So just really fortunate to be able to be a part of this experience and to have so many people who would be able to help me throughout this time that I was in the program. When you're confused about what direction you want to go into, but you have this curiosity of wanting to go to college and wanting to, and this may sound really cliche or parochial, but when we were going college visits with College Access, and we would go to these campuses, I would see all these students with book bags. And to me, I was like, I want to be around that. I would see these professors. And so they would get us excited about it. And then when it came to the point where I needed to fill out the FAFSA form and do all of the admissions applications, and that barrier came up because My parents did not understand what the FAFSA was, and they didn't want to give their personal information. And I was devastated. And I remember walking into the office of the counselor for the Philadelphia Education Fund and saying to him, I am not going to go to college. I'm just going to go work. And he looked at me and said, absolutely not. I'm going to call your parents. I'm going to talk to them, and you are going to find a way. We are going to find a way to get you in college. He came to my house and sat with my father for about 2 hours and talked to him. And the next day, my dad placed that FAFSA form on my dresser. And it was the best feeling in the world, because I knew that that opportunity to go to college was for real. And I must have ran, after I got off the bus, the J bus is what they takes you to Germantown High School at the time on SEPTA, and ran and gave that form to the college access counselor and said, I'm going to college. That moment lives in my head. I talk about that story oftentimes with students now, particularly who are first generation and who are facing similar barriers. So I'm just thankful to the Philadelphia Education Fund counselor for going above and beyond to help support me, because that moment was a critical moment for me, because it could have went another direction. And he could have said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about it. Because there were a lot of kids that he was working with. It was about maybe 70 of us. And he took the time to come to my home and sat with my dad. And my dad was very thankful for that he did that, because my father acknowledged to me that he just did not know. I would say to families that, you know, the opportunity to be able to work with an organization and with individuals who are committed to helping to support your children who are in high school, or to support you as a parent as your child goes through college is going to be critically important. This program looks beyond just sending someone to college and giving them the opportunity. It's a holistic approach. It's helping that student with soft skills. It's helping that student understanding critical thinking and what that means. And it also helps that student be prepared for what is to come in this particular world that we are in currently in terms of workforce development and what that means. The services that are provided through the College Access Program, the support, the reputation that they have, I think is something that's unmatched. And I would strongly encourage anybody who has an opportunity to work with the Philadelphia Education Fund College Access Program to do so. Looking back on it, 30 plus years now, you see the impact that it had. And those counselors, the Philadelphia Education Fund as a whole, just collectively, just a wraparound of support, you know. And then it continued when I was in college, through graduation. And all of that helped to kind of spur me to be able to move in these directions that I moved in, to go to graduate school, and then to get terminal degree, and then to, you know, work in higher education, which is where I'm at today. But it would not have started. This kid from Germantown who had no parents who went to college, who had never been outside of Philadelphia before that, nothing, you know. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. But we have a responsibility to support, serve these youth in Philadelphia and the surrounding communities, because our industry partners need it. The economic development activity that's in the city of Philadelphia, you have those impactful moments that you don't really consider at the time that it happens, but then when you look back, you realize, you know, what this individual or individuals did to help support you to get you where you are. And that's what it was with Philadelphia Education Fund. And I had chills on the plane this morning thinking about it. You know, when they would come up to the college and sit with us to make sure we were doing okay. And it was the Westchester University students and the Cheyney University students, and we would all be sitting around talking. And I remember the last dollar scholarship. I remember my dad coming up there pulling out the money, and I had the scholarship check that they gave us, because they would give us the check before school started. So we had the money when we got to registration. And that was the difference with me staying in school. But even the things leading up in high school, working with the college access counselor through the Philadelphia Education Fund, and finding out that I got the $1,000 scholarship, you know, you just can't, you can't understand it unless you go through it. And somebody saying to you, you know what, I think you can go to college.